Hare Hare Krishna. Dear friends, we are going through recitation of chapter 7 of Bhagavad Gita as it is. This is the book I'm reading the verses from, and we studied or recited chapter 6 yesterday. Chapter 6 was about, please comment over there if you remember what was chapter 6 about. Today we are doing chapter 7, which is about the knowledge of the Absolute. In the beginning, we will offer prayers to Guru Parampara, and then we will start this chapter with the summary of the whole chapter. Manas Ranjan Mohanty, Hare Krishna, Uttam, Diti Jyoti, Mukesh Kumar, Saumitra Chakravarti, Satyabrata Nath, Hare Krishna. Friends, आप सभी का वेलकम है, अभिनंदन है to the recitation of entire Bhagavad Gita this month. 25th December is the Bhagavad Gita Jayanti month. Gita Jayanti is on that day. This is Gita Jayanti month, and we are taking this opportunity to go through all the verses, 700 verses in 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. And this is a great opportunity for all of us to get together and spend like half an hour of our time. Okay, we get so busy in our material lives, chasing after our goals and doing all different activities, performing our duties, right? Going through all kind of experiences. But let us find some time to read the words of the God, the words of Krishna to Arjun in battlefield of Kurukshetra. So आइए, let's offer the prayers. नमो विष्णु प्रदाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणी निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणी श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधर शिवसदि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. अजय कुमार, रमेश गुप्ता, पुष्पा, रवि, Vijay Kumar, Vishwanath Dey, and many other fortunate souls. Hari Priya, Hari Krishna, Anil Kumar, Chaitra Yadav, Nagesh Nair, आप सभी का अभिनंदन है. I am really appreciative of you all. तहे दिल से आपका स्वागत है, धन्यवाद है. आइए हम सब भगवद गीता रीडिंग शुरू करते हैं. वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितनां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. चैप्टर 6 जो हमने कल किया था, आप में से सबको याद आया या नहीं आया, मैं कमेंट्स चेक करूंगी, लेकिन उसका नाम था ध्यान योग. और आज हम जो चैप्टर कर रहे हैं उसका नाम है भगवत ज्ञान या फिर the knowledge of the Absolute. Friends, I am going to recite the verses in Sanskrit followed by English translation, and I will try to make few comments in between in both English and Hindi, because some of our friends have repeatedly requested I should speak in Hindi also. And for benefit of everyone who doesn't understand Hindi language, I am reciting this first reading of Bhagavad Gita in English. So that is why I'm going to do both English and Hindi. Amit Arora, Thakur Sajan, Hare Krishna. So let me quickly give you a summary of this chapter 7. Lord Krishna is the supreme truth, the supreme cause and sustaining force of everything, both material and spiritual. Advanced souls surrender unto him in devotion, whereas impious souls divert their minds to other objects of worship. So हमें इस चैप्टर से ये क्लियर हो जाएगा। जैसे कि हम पढ़ेंगे, भगवान अर्जुन को बैटलफील्ड में बहुत सारी ट्रांसेंडेंटल नॉलेज दे रहे हैं, और यहाँ तक कि अर्जुन को डिफरेंट काइंड्स ऑफ योगा के बारे में भी बताया भगवान ने। अब भगवान अर्जुन को नॉलेज ऑफ एब्सोल्यूट दे रहे हैं। आफ्टर ही हैज़ एक्सप्लेन टू अर्जुन what is the position of the soul, how soul is in loving relationship with the Lord, and how different modes of nature they influence the soul who is entangled in material activities, and what is the perfect way to get out of the grip of this entanglement of material existence, how to save ourselves from the dangers of repeated birth, old age, death and disease. Hare Krishna. कृष्णा खटीवड़ा, रविमाला, संतोष, नागराजू, जीवन, धिताल, खेम शर्मा. हरे कृष्णा. सो लेट्स गो टू द vedabase.io लिंक. जिनके पास गीता की कॉपी है, प्लीज़ ओपन इट, कम टू चैप्टर 7. और जिनके पास नहीं है, प्लीज़ गो टू vedabase.io and वहाँ पर select the book Bhagavad Gita, come to chapter 7. Let's go through the verses. I did prepare a quick short list of wonderful questions we will get answers from in this chapter. भगवान इसमें बताएंगे how by hearing about Krishna one can understand the science of Krishna perfectly. Don't we all want to understand this great science of self-realization? Who is a better person other than Lord Krishna himself? Actually, Srila Prabhupada made it further easier. Srila Prabhupada ने उस पर purports लिखे, उस पर commentary लिखी, जिससे कि हमको ये जो भगवत ज्ञान है बहुत easily समझ आए. What is the recommended process of understanding the complete knowledge about Krishna, and from what kind of people we can understand about Krishna? Should we just go and talk about Krishna with everyone? Can we listen to pravachan from anyone and just take it to our heart? Bhagwan is going to explain that also. What are the different material energies of the Lord, and what is the goal of an impersonalist? What is living entity's position with respect to the material energy, and how many of us want to know who is the supreme controller of our lives? How can we become fully Krishna conscious? Who is the original cause of all material and spiritual natures? You know, as we conduct ourselves in day-to-day lives, we feel we are the doers. We are responsible for things we are supposed to do, our duties. And then we are in like forgetfulness, or we do not have complete understanding who is the actual doer, who is the actual controller. So how can we realize Krishna? And how do we actually experience Krishna in everything around us? Right from the time we see the sun in the morning, or we experience and appreciate the moonlight in the evening and at night. When we drink water, when we think about the taste of water, when we smell a beautiful flower, are we thinking about Krishna? Or let us take a moment to think, where is Krishna right now? How can I experience Krishna right now? So, we have talked about 3 modes of nature. We have heard so much about 3 modes of nature: mode of ignorance, mode of passion, mode of goodness. So, how can one transcend the material modes of nature? There are some very famous verses in this chapter, my dear friends. And मैं आपको बताती जाऊंगी वो कौन सी verses हैं. और जब आपको वक्त मिले, please memorize those verses and share those verses with friends and family. Actually, please share this talk with your friends and families, with your loved ones, if you are really their well-wishers, because you don't know whose life may be transformed with this knowledge right away, and they can make their life sublime. We all want to understand how we can overcome this Maya, the material nature. And Bhagwan ne bataya there are 4 categories of people who never surrender to Krishna. And there are 4 categories of people who come to Krishna, directly or indirectly. We will talk about that. But eventually we will understand who is the Supreme Lord of everything, and in what mood should message of Gita be heard or read or understood. So now further we will learn who is considered the best category who surrenders to Krishna, and why are they so dear to Krishna. Krishna loves a category of people. We will learn about that. And then what is the state of the person as per some verses who is in pure knowledge of Krishna. So dear friends, we should know how Krishna regards such surrendered souls. These pure surrendered souls are called Mahatmas, and Bhagwan is going to give us the knowledge about such souls. And then Bhagwan is also going to share with Arjun what is the destination of such souls. Now, अगर आपको याद होगा लास्ट चैप्टर में ध्यान योग में भगवान ने बताया कि डिफरेंट योगा सिस्टम्स को फॉलो करते हुए ट्रांसेंडेंटलिस्ट समटाइम्स दे गेट डिविएटेड, दे कैन नॉट कैरी ऑन देयर जर्नी. एंड देन अर्जुन ने पूछा ऐसे लोगों का डेस्टिनेशन क्या होता है. एंड व्हाट डिड भगवान से? Such transcendentalists may be born in the family of a Brahmin or an affluent family with a favorable environment where they can carry on their spiritual journey. Here Bhagwan will elaborate on destination of such surrendered souls. Where do they go? And what is the difference in the moods of a pure devotee and the less intelligent living entity for fulfillment of their desires? Now, there is a touch on the talk about mention of the worship of demigods. Demigod worship, हम different देवी देवताओं को worship करते हैं. And why should we go to Krishna actually, instead of going to all different Vayu देवता, अग्नि देवता, अलग तरीके के demigods की worship के बजाय हमें सीधा कृष्ण के पास क्यों जाना चाहिए अपनी सारी desires लेके. And भगवान ने हमें फ्री विल क्यों दी है? ओके, हमारी इंडिपेंडेंस कितनी है? एंड व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन द मूड्स ऑफ ए डिवोटी एंड द लेस इंटेलिजेंट लिविंग एंटिटी फॉर फुलफिलमेंट ऑफ डिजायर्स. वी विल ऑल्सो स्टडी अबाउट डेस्टिनेशन ऑफ सच पीपल who don't directly take to worship of Krishna, but they worship all different demigods, and उनकी approach different क्यों होती है इसको समझना बहुत ज़रूरी है, so that we can get the right perspective कि हमें भगवान कृष्ण के पास अपनी सारी desires लेकर क्यों आना चाहिए. And then towards the end, इस chapter में actually 30 verses हैं, and towards the end भगवान बताएंगे what are the dualities, what are their examples, and how dualities cause illusions. Repeatedly माया को illusory energy of the Lord बोला जाता है, और बोला जाता है इस संसार में dualities हैं. So dualities हमें illusion में कैसे डालती हैं, and why is it an impediment to understand Bhagwan? So eventually, what is the purpose? Why are we reading all this? So that we can free ourselves from the dualities of delusion and come directly to Krishna. Eventually, पूरे chapter का सार ये है, we have to understand who can engage in serving Krishna with determination, how can we know Bhagwan, and what is the ultimate conclusion or the verdict of all Shastra or scriptures. So let's get started. Chapter 7, Knowledge of the Absolute. Text 1. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Maya Sakta Mana Partha Yogam Yunjam Madashraya Asamshayam Samagram Mam Yatha Gyanya Sita Chrinu. Translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Now hear, O son of Pritha, how by practicing yoga in full consciousness of me, with mind attached to me, you can know me in full, free from doubt. The questions I just shared with you all are the questions on mind for all of us. We all wonder about such questions, and we are going to get this Bhagavad Gyan in this chapter because we are getting benefited by inquiries of Arjun. So let's see now. In this first verse, Bhagwan has told Arjun what all he is going to share with him. He is going to give him Bhagavad Gyan. And to hear about Krishna from Vedic literatures or to hear from him directly through Bhagavad Gita is a righteous activity. Prabhupada ne explain kiya hai. Prabhupada says, and for one who hears about Krishna, Lord Krishna, who is dwelling, who is there in all our hearts, he is our best well-wishing friend and he purifies our hearts because we are constantly trying to hear about him. And in this way, a devotee naturally develops his dormant transcendental knowledge. That knowledge is dormant, it is in everyone's heart. But when we hear about Krishna through our ears, we do the Shravanam, then what happens? That dormant knowledge becomes activated. We come in remembrance. So now as we hear more and more about Krishna from Bhagavatam and from the devotees, we become fixed in devotional service of the Lord. And by development of devotional service, what happens when devotional service develops or bhakti in our heart develops? One becomes free from the modes of passion and ignorance. रजो और तमोगुण से हम फ्री होने लगते हैं and thus material lusts and avarice are diminished. सारे जो weaknesses of heart हैं वो destroy होने लगते हैं. And when these impurities are wiped away, the candidate remains steady in his position of pure goodness and he becomes happy and unleavened by bhakti, by devotional service, and understands the science of God perfectly. And the Bhakti Yoga, it breaks or removes the hard knot of material affection and it enables one to come at once to the stage of Asanchayam Samagram. Bhagwan has said these two words in the verses, which means understanding of the supreme absolute truth, personality of Godhead. Therefore, only by hearing from Krishna or from his devotee in Krishna consciousness can one understand the science of Krishna. और हम भगवान के प्योर डिवोटी श्रीला प्रभुपाद से ये सारा ज्ञान सीख रहे हैं, सुन रहे हैं through the medium of this book, Bhagavad Gita as it is. Text 2. ज्ञानं तेहं सविज्ञानम् इदं वक्ष्याम्यशेषत यज्ञात्वा नेह भूयोञ्ज ज्ञात्वाव्यम् अविशिष्यते. Translation: I shall now declare unto you in full this knowledge, both phenomenal and numinous, thus being known, nothing further shall remain for you to know. So Bhagavan Krishna is saying these words to Arjun, that complete knowledge includes knowledge of phenomenal world, the spirit behind it, and the source of both of them. And this is the transcendental knowledge. And we studied in chapter 4. The chapter 4 was titled Transcendental Knowledge. And Lord or Krishna or Bhagwan, he wants to explain this above mentioned system of knowledge because Arjun is Krishna's confidential devotee and very dear friend. Therefore, we should use our intelligence. One should be intelligent enough to know the source of all knowledge and who is the cause of all causes and the only object of meditation in all types of yoga practice. And when all the cause of the causes is known, then everything knowable becomes known and nothing is unknown. This is what Prabhupada is also explaining. Text 3. Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschit yatati siddhaye yatatma pi siddhanam kaschin mam veti tatvata. Hare Krishna friends, those of you who have just joined, We are reading chapter 7 of Bhagavad Gita as it is. This chapter is titled The Knowledge of the Absolute, and it is also called Bhagavad Gyan. Roshni, Sushant, Tarsem, please join us. Thank you so much. Vibhuti, Patel, Swapna. If you need to find where to find the verses we are at, please go to vedabase.io, select Bhagavad Gita book, and you can come to chapter 7. So we are reading text number 3, translation. Out of many thousands among men, one may endeavor for perfection, and of those who have achieved perfection, excuse me, hardly one knows me in truth. So Bhagwan is now going to talk about categories of people in this chapter who come to Bhagwan spontaneously with faith, and categories of people who do not want to do anything with Krishna and they do not want to surrender to Krishna. And उससे भी पहले भगवान बता रहे हैं कि there are many grades of men, and out of many thousands, one may be sufficiently interested in transcendental realization, in this self-realization science, and try to know what is self, what is soul, what is body, what is absolute truth. And generally, what are we all busy with? All mankind is simply engaged in eat, sleep, mate, defend. Natural propensity is that, unless one is interested in transcendental knowledge. Eat, sleep, mate, defend, animals we करते हैं. But what differentiates a human from an animal? That human beings can use their intelligence for self-realization. So the first 6 chapters of Gita are meant for those who are interested in transcendental knowledge, in understanding the self, in understanding about super self or super soul, and the process of realization by Gyan Yoga, Ashtang Yoga, Sankhya Yoga, Dhyan Yoga, and discrimination of self from the matter. This is how Prabhupada explains. And other transcendentalists may achieve impersonal Brahman realization, for this is easier than understanding Krishna. But Krishna is beyond the knowledge of Brahman and Paramatma. So, how can Krishna be understood? So far we have seen each of the chapters. Prabhupada has been explaining what Krishna is saying to Arjuna, that Bhagwan can be understood by bhakti alone. So Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the cause of all causes, the primeval Lord Govinda, Ishvara Parama Krishna, Satchidananda Vigraha, Anadiradi Govinda, Sarvakaran Karanam. It is very difficult for people who don't have faith to know Krishna. Although, such non-devotees, they declare that the path of bhakti is very easy, they cannot practice it. If the path of bhakti is so easy, then non-devotees class of men proclaim, why should they take up the difficult path? Actually, path of bhakti is not easy. Prabhupada कहते हैं, the so-called path of bhakti practiced by unauthorized people without the knowledge of bhakti may be easy, but when it is practiced factually according to the rules and regulations, the speculative scholars and philosophers, they fall away from the path. So, such devotional service is a disturbance in the society. So, only devotees can understand Bhagwan because they have faith. They have desire to understand Krishna, and they are not distracted or deviated from the actual path of bhakti. So, let's come to verse number 4. Bhumirapo nalo vayu khammano buddhirevacha ahankariti yamme bhinna prakrtirastada. Translation: Earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego. All together, these eight constitute my separate material energies. And now Krishna is sharing little bit to Arjun about his different energies, So there is spiritual energy, there is material energy, and there is marginal energy. And he just told Arjun what constitutes his material energy. Because the science of God analyzes the constitutional position of God and his diverse energy. And material nature को क्या बोलते हैं? प्रकृति. Or the energy of Lord in his different Purush incarnations. Let's come to next verse. Text 5. अपरिमेयं मितस्त्वन्यं प्रकृतिं विद्धि मे परां जीवभूतां महाबाहो ययेदं धार्यते जगत्. Besides these, O mighty armed Arjun, there is another superior energy of mine which comprises the living entities who are exploiting the resources of the material inferior nature. So like I said before, the living entities are the marginal energy of the Lord. But they're still superior nature of the Lord, and the inferior energy is the matter, which is like different elements, namely earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego. So now we come to text number 6. I understand this may be a little technical topic, not very much of interest to many of us, but let's just go through the verses, the recitation at a high level, because we want to understand the knowledge of the absolute or the Bhagavad Gyan. भगवान बताने वाले हैं इस चैप्टर में कि भगवत ज्ञान क्या है, कौन भगवान के पास अल्टीमेटली आ सकता है, क्योंकि भगवान के पास वही आ सकता है जो भगवान को बहुत प्रिय होते हैं. दैट इज़ वाई हमें बहुत ध्यान से एकाग्रचित होकर इन वर्सेस को पढ़ना चाहिए, सुनना चाहिए और समझना चाहिए. एतद् योनिनि भूतानि सर्वाणीति उपाधारय. एतद् योनिनि भूतानि सर्वाणीत्युपधारय. अहं कृत्सन्न्यस्य जगता प्रभव प्रलयस्तथा. Translation: All created beings have their source in these two natures. Of all that is material and all that is spiritual in this world, know for certain that I am both the origin and the dissolution. So, here Bhagwan is saying that we are all parts and parcels of Bhagwan, and a fragmental part and parcel of Lord, the living entity, may be the cause of the things created out of matter in this energy, material energy. But we cannot be the cause of big universe. The cause of the big universe is the big soul or super soul. And Krishna, the Supreme, is the cause of both big and the small souls. Therefore, Bhagwan is the original cause of all causes. Text 7. Matta parantaram nanyat kinchidasti dhananjaya Mai sarvamidam protam sutre mani ganayava. Translation: O conqueror of wealth, there is no truth superior to me. Everything rests upon me as pearls are strung on a thread. This is such a beautiful analogy Bhagwan is giving. Immediately we can think of how the pearls are strung on a thread to make a necklace. In the same way, everything in the creation rests on Bhagwan. Let's come to next verse. So right now we have an understanding. We can conclude that supreme absolute truth is the supreme Bhagwan, who is all pervading by his many energies. Prabhupada बोलते हैं कि for many energies he says the word multi energies, both material and spiritual. Text 8. रसोहम अप्सु कौन्तेय प्रभास्मि शशि सूर्ययो प्रणव सर्ववेदेषु शब्द खे पौरुषम ऋषु. Translation: O son of Kunti, I am the taste of water, the light of the sun and moon, and the syllable Om in Vedic mantras. I am the sound in ether and ability in man. So, in this verse, we can clearly see Bhagwan exists throughout the creation, everywhere, right from the time we drink water, the time we see the sunlight outside or the moonlight, or we chant mantras, we hear his sound and we see the abilities in man. This is how we can perceive him by his different energies. We should use our intelligence. We should not speculate. But these are the words of the Bhagwan. And Prabhupada has explained it also very nicely in purports. Please take time to go through the purports. So the jurisdiction or ultimate conclusion, Prabhupada says, is Krishna consciousness extends everywhere, and one who knows Krishna consciousness is truly a blessed person, a blessed soul. You know, we talk so much about blessings in our life, the gifts we receive from Bhagwan in our life. We take so much for granted, and we should have so much gratitude and appreciation for everything we receive from Bhagwan. What can we offer to Bhagwan? We have received everything from him. But if we choose, if a living entity chooses to live in illusion, and so basically in that case, we will never understand Krishna. We will be entangled in the material energy, in the material existence. We will be in illusions. And so, knowledge of Krishna is liberation, and ignorance of Krishna is bondage. Bondage to what? Bondage to fruitive activities. Text 9. Punyo gandha prithviyam cha, punyo gandha prithvimyam cha, tejas chashmi vibhavasu, jivanam sarva bhuteshu, tapas chashmi tapasvishu. Translation: I am the original fragrance of the earth, and I am the heat in fire. I am the life of all that lives, and I am the penances of all ascetics. So भगवान खुद अर्जुन को बता रहे हैं कि वो पूरे क्रिएशन में बहुत ही सटल वे में कैसे एग्जिस्ट करते हैं. Actually, entire creation is in front of us. We can choose to see presence of the Supreme in everything, or we can choose to live in ignorance. So, Prabhupada explains that even the duration of life, living entity's life, is also due to Bhagwan's blessings. Therefore, by grace of Krishna, a man can prolong his life or reduce it. So, Krishna consciousness is active in every sphere, everywhere, like earth, water, fire, air, ether, every active principle, all chemicals and all material elements are due to Krishna. Text 10. Bijam mam sarva bhutanam viddhi partha sanatanam buddhir buddhim matam asmi tejas tejasvinamaham. Translation: O son of Pritha, know that I am the original seed of all existences, the intelligence of the intelligent, and the prowess of all powerful men. So basically, we really now understand in this verse that Krishna is the seed or origin of everything. There are so many living entities, right? Some are moving, some are non-moving. Birds, beasts, men, and many other living creatures are moving, living entities. Trees and plants are inert. They don't move. They stand. Every entity is contained within the scope of 8.4 million species of life. Some of them are moving, some of them are inert. But in all cases, the seed of their life is who? Krishna. This is what Bhagwan is saying. So Bhagwan is the prime eternal among all eternals. Prabhupada explains very nicely in purports that Bhagwan is the supreme living entity of all living entities, and he is maintaining all life. One cannot do anything without intelligence, and Krishna also says that he is the root of all intelligence. So what should we understand from here? We should understand that unless a person is intelligent, he cannot understand Bhagwan. Text 11. Balam balavatam chaham kamaraga vivarjitam dharma virodho bhuteshu kamosmi bharatarshava kamosmi bharatarshava. Translation: I am the strength of strong, devoid of passion and desire. I am sex life which is not contrary to religious principles, O Lord of Bharat. Arjun. So भगवान यहाँ बता रहे हैं कि भगवान हर चीज़ का सोर्स है, and that it is our responsibility to understand that and then accordingly live our life in Krishna consciousness. Text 12. ये चैव सात्विका भाव राजसस्तामसश्च ये मत्ता एवेति तान् विद्धि न त्वा अहम तेषु ते मयि. Translation. Friends, we are doing recitation of Bhagavad Gita. हम पूरी भगवद गीता पढ़ रहे हैं, रोज एक चैप्टर पढ़ रहे हैं. आज चैप्टर 7 पढ़ रहे हैं जो कि भगवद ज्ञान है. एंड मैं इनको संस्कृत में पढ़ती हूँ वर्सेस को, फॉलोड बाय इंग्लिश ट्रांसलेशन. So that's why I'm trying to speak both in English and Hindi for benefit of everyone. So right now I read verse number 12 and I'm going to read the translation. Know that all states of being, be they of goodness, passion or ignorance, are manifested by my energy. I am in one sense everything, but I am independent. I am not under the modes of material nature, for they, on the contrary, are within me. So Bhagwan ने ये बताया, even though he is cause of all causes, he creates everything, everything rests on him, but he never gets entangled in material modes of nature. He is separate from them. So I have some really wonderful points I want to share here with you all, and I'm trying to just quickly open this so I can bring it up for you all. Okay. So far ये उन सब के बेनिफिट के लिए मैं क्विकली कुछ पॉइंट्स बोल रही हूँ जिन्होंने अभी अभी ज्वाइन किया है. दिस इज व्हाट वी हैव कवर्ड सो फार. हु शुड वी हियर कृष्णा फ्रॉम, ओके, एंड how to know Bhagwan, really who Bhagwan is. So when we practice path of Bhakti Yoga with our mind fixed on serving Krishna in full consciousness of Krishna is the right way to know Bhagwan in full. और हमें devotees से भगवान के बारे में समझना चाहिए. We should learn about Krishna from the devotees of the Lord. And this knowledge is very rare. And then Bhagwan further explains about the knowledge of Absolute, that it is about nature, the Lord and the living entity. And that material nature is separated energy of the Lord and living entity is the spiritual energy of Krishna and is struggling with the material nature. And Krishna is the source of everything material and spiritual. So now he also talked about that life comes from chemicals, but Krishna is the source of all material energy, right? And he also established that no truth is superior than Krishna. And there was a beautiful analogy about pearls, and that analogy was all the creation is maintained by Krishna, just like the pearls are strung on a thread. And I mentioned that you can imagine a necklace, a pearl necklace. So just like that, everything is maintained by Krishna, just like pearls are strung on a thread. And then we started, Bhagwan started talking about who surrenders to Krishna, right? And something to keep in mind is, what does surrender benefit us with? What is the benefit of surrender to Krishna? Think about it, and we are going to read next few verses that how surrender or Sharanagati to Krishna brings us freedom from all the modes of nature, because modes of nature जो होते हैं ना वो ropes जैसे होते हैं जिसमें हम हमारे ऊपर shackles चढ़ी हुई हैं modes of nature की. So we want to get out of those shackles or the ropes of material nature. Now let's move forward with the verse number 13. We are on verse number 13, and here we go. त्रिभिर्गुणमयैर्भावैर् इभिः सर्वमिदं जगत् मोहितं नाभिजानन्ति मामेभ्यः परमव्ययम्. Translation: deluded by three modes of nature, goodness, passion and ignorance, the whole world doesn't know me who am above the modes and inexhaustible. ये भगवान के कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स हैं कि सारा वर्ल्ड तो एक्चुअली एन्चेंटेड है बाय थ्री मोड्स ऑफ नेचर. माया से एन्चेंटेड है सारा वर्ल्ड, बट those who are bewildered by these three modes cannot understand that how Bhagwan is transcendental to these three modes. So we are going to learn a little bit more about this, that Krishna consciousness is transcendental to these three modes of material nature. And who is able to get liberated? Those who understand, those who are truly established in Krishna consciousness, those who have taken to this path with pure faith and determination. Those are the people who really get liberated out of the clutches of material energy. Text 14. Devi esha guramayi mama maya duratyaya mamev ye prapadyante maya metam taranti te. This is the famous verse, friends. अगर आप चाहें तो इसको मार्क कर लें. ये important verse है, इसको memorize भी किया जा सकता है. The translation is, this divine energy of mind consisting of three modes of material nature is difficult to overcome, but those who have surrendered to me can easily cross beyond it. So भगवान ने ये भी बता दिया कि material energy कितनी difficult है, जिसके components three modes of nature हैं. We are under influence throughout the day. We are under the influence of modes of nature. And that is why we are in forgetfulness or remembrance of Bhagwan. But then, if we start on this path of surrender to Krishna, that is the way we can overcome the effects of modes of nature. Text 15. Na mam dushkritino mudha prapadyante naradhama mayam aprahita jnana asuram bhavamashrita. This is another verse which is important, and you can mark this verse also, friends. इसको आप memorize कर सकते हैं इस verse को, क्योंकि इस verse में बताया गया है कि किस तरह से जो दुष्कृतना या miscreant होते हैं वो भगवान को surrender नहीं करते हैं. ठीक है. So the translation is, those miscreants who are grossly foolish, Bhagwan calls them foolish, who are lowest among mankind, whose knowledge is stolen by illusion, and who partake to the atheistic nature of demons, do not surrender to me. So Bhagwan is telling now that simply by surrendering to the lotus feet of Krishna, one can overcome the tough or the stringent laws of Maya or material nature. So, and भगवान ने ये भी बोला कि जो एथीस्ट होते हैं, जो डिमोनिक प्रोपेंसिटी के होते हैं, वो कभी भगवान को सरेंडर नहीं करते. भगवान ने बताया इसमें 4 कैटेगरीज ऑफ पीपल हैं. मूढ़ास कहलाते हैं, ओके, दुष्कृतना कहलाते हैं, नाराधम कहलाते हैं, ओके. सो दीज पीपल नेवर सरेंडर टू कृष्णा. सो भगवान शिला प्रभुपाद एक्सप्लेन करते हैं कि भगवान को हम कब प्रे करते हैं. when we are in difficult moments, right? when we cry out to भगवान for help, for something. ये हम सबकी natural instinct है living entities की, because by nature living entity is eternally related with भगवान. But after the child is born, वो यही भूल जाता है कि उसे कितनी डिफ़िकल्टी और इनकन्वीनियंस से बर्थ लेना पड़ा था. ये सब क्यों होता है? माया के इफेक्ट से. The minute we find happiness around or the things we want, we come in forgetfulness. There is a popular doha from childhood times we have studied in school. दुख दुख में सुमिरन सब करे, सुख में करे ना कोई, जो सुख में सुमिरन करे, दुख काहे को होय. आई एम श्योर आप सबने ये वाला दोहा सुना होगा बचपन से, और उसका मीनिंग भी क्लियर है कि जो दुख में भी भगवान को भूलता नहीं, तो जो सुख में भी भगवान को ना भूले तो उसे दुख ही क्यों हो, क्योंकि दुख में तो सब याद करते हैं. सो इट इज़ द ड्यूटीज एज पेरेंट्स, इवन एज पेरेंट्स इट इज़ अवर ड्यूटी कि भगवान की जो नॉलेज है, जो ये डिवाइन कॉन्शियसनेस है जो कि डॉर्मेंट है इवन हमारे बच्चों में और अदर सोल्स में, we help them in some way so they can remember Krishna. And for this we have several resources. We have the books, we have the holy names, we have the devotees, we have prasadam, we have festivals, we have rath yatras. हमें इतने सारे resources available हैं. Bhagwan comes and reaches out to us in so many different ways to remind us that our best friend, our eternal well-wisher is waiting for us. It is for us to make a perfect choice, to live a life in Krishna consciousness. So, we talked about the categories of people who do not surrender to Bhagwan in this verse. So, Prabhupada explains that the grossly foolish person, the lowest of mankind, the deluded speculators and the atheists, they never surrender to Krishna, to the lotus feet of Bhagwan, in spite of all the scriptures and advices. Text 16. Chaturvida bhajante mam jana sukritino arjuna आतो जिज्ञासुर अर्थार्थी ज्ञानी च भरतर्षभ. अगेन इस वक्त लाइन से 3 बहुत ही फेमस और बहुत ही इम्पॉर्टेंट वर्सेस चल रही हैं. आप इस वर्स को भी मार्क कर लीजिए, इसको याद कर लीजिए और इसको समझ लीजिए. इस वर्स का मीनिंग है, O best among Bharatas, the 4 kinds of pious men begin to render devotional service unto me, the distressed, the desirer of wealth, the inquisitive, and he who is searching for knowledge of absolute. So the general trend is, the way I was raised, we would go to temple or we would come to worship God and pray, Bhagwan, please let me get good grades, let me top in my exam. I have not performed very well, but somehow let me score the highest. And then there are women who do all kind of fasting and observing upvas for getting a good husband, a good life. And there are men who are worshipping to Devi for a wonderful, beautiful wife, a wonderful car, a wonderful job. And there are parents worshipping for their children, praying that let our children be ideal children, obedient children, let them live a wonderful, beautiful, happy life, let them get promotion, let them be happy. So in short, living entities, they all are coming with different reasons to Bhagwan. And there are some people who are coming to Bhagwan in distress. People, for example, in current COVID pandemic times, so many of us are losing our loved ones and we are praying for them. We are coming to Bhagwan with a heart full of prayers because we are trying to manage or handle the grief within our hearts, and we are coming to Bhagwan with our prayers for the souls of the people, for souls of the loved ones who have departed. And then there are people who come to Krishna praying, I really want to understand you, Bhagwan. I read something there. I read something in those religious books. I want to find out what is the real truth about the Absolute. So there are inquisitive people. And then, of course, there are people, in different states of their mind. They just want, maybe they want a ton of wealth and they just want to be rich. You walk into a store, a business, and there you find photographs of the deities there, and The store owner nicely worships them every day, thinking that yes, I should get good business. Goddess Lakshmi, goddess of fortune, please come, please reside here. And for that they are worshipping Bhagwan. So ये सब डिफरेंट कैटेगरीज हैं, कौन कौन भगवान को डिफरेंट मूड्स में वर्शिप करते हैं, एंड दे कम टू भगवान. बट इन सम वे इवेंचुअली दे आर सरेंडरिंग टू भगवान, अनलाइक दोज नराधम्स और द मिसक्रिएंट्स जो कोई रेगुलेटिव प्रिंसिपल्स फॉलो नहीं करना चाहते और कोई रूल्स ओबे नहीं करना चाहते, कोई मॉरल सोशलाइज लॉज को ओबे नहीं करना चाहते, और वो भगवान को सरेंडर नहीं करना चाहते. प्रभुपाद कहते हैं कि प्योर डिवोशनल सर्विस कोई भी कर सकता है, भक्ति कोई भी कर सकता है, क्योंकि प्योर डिवोशनल सर्विस इज विदाउट एस्पिरेशन एंड विदाउट द डिजायर फॉर मटेरियल प्रॉफिट. एंड सो these four categories of people who surrender to Krishna, they come to Bhagwan for devotional service under different conditions. Now they may not be pure devotees. Why? क्योंकि उनकी material desires हैं, वो भगवान के प्लेजर के लिए भगवान के पास नहीं आ रहे हैं, भगवान को सर्व करने के लिए नहीं आ रहे हैं, वो अपनी डिज़ायर्स लेके आ रहे हैं. लेकिन स्टिल वो भगवान के पास आए तो इसलिए वो भक्त बन जाते हैं. इवेंचुअली शुद्ध भक्ति आती है जब उनकी डिवोशनल सर्विस अनमोटिवेटेड, अनअलॉयड होती है. बट दैट इज अ स्पिरिचुअल जर्नी. वन कैन प्यूरिफाई मोर एंड मोर ऑन दिस path. There is no loss, there is no danger, there is no loss. But this is a investment, like Prabhuji was saying in a talk show yesterday, that this is a wonderful investment जिसमें returns बहुत हैं और minimum investment है. So this is the best investment of our life. So when these four kind of people come to Bhagwan for devotional service and they get purified with the association of pure devotees, they also become pure devotees. So in this verse we are learning now प्रभुपाद के पर्पस में कि हम प्योर डिवोटी कैसे बन सकते हैं, हमें प्योर डिवोटी क्यों बनना चाहिए और हम प्योर डिवोटी कब बन सकते हैं और हम भगवान के पास अपनी सारी डिजायर्स लेकर आ सकते हैं. Text 17, friends. We are on chapter 7, text 17. तेषां ज्ञानी नित्ययुक्ता एका भक्तिर् विशिष्यते प्रियो हि ज्ञानिनो त्यार्यां प्रियो हि ज्ञानिनो अर्थमहं स च मम प्रिया. Of these, the one who is in pure knowledge and who is always engaged in pure devotional service is the best, for I am very dear to him and he is dear to me. Now is the most beautiful, amazing part of this chapter. We all want to know who is most dear to Bhagwan. बच्चे होते हैं ना, जानना चाहते हैं पेरेंट्स हमको कितना प्यार करते हैं, पेरेंट्स हम में से किसको सबसे ज़्यादा प्यार करते हैं. इसी तरह भगवान कृष्ण हमारे सुप्रीम फादर हैं और इस वर्ष में भगवान ने बताया है कि भगवान को सबसे डियर कौन है और उसकी एक्टिविटीज़ क्या होती हैं. सो भगवान सेज who is in full knowledge of me and who is always engaged in pure bhakti is the best. I am very dear to him and he is very dear to me. And do you know who is such a person? A person who is free from all contaminations of material desires. ये जो distressed or inquisitive or a person who wants more wealth and the person who wants the supreme knowledge, they can all become pure devotees. Why? Because they already started the path of Bhakti Yoga. They have taken the path of surrender to Krishna. But out of them, the person who is in knowledge of absolute truth and free from all material desires becomes really a pure devotee of Krishna. And of the four orders, the devotee who is in full knowledge and is at the same time engaged in devotional service, भगवान कहते हैं he is the best. So now we understand how we can become dear to Krishna. Let us cultivate the knowledge about Krishna. Let us do some Shravanam. Let us do some chanting. Let's do some Smaranam, meditation on name, form, qualities and pastimes of the Lord. जो कि हम भागवतम और भगवत गीता जब पढ़ते हैं तो ये एक्टिविटीज़ हमारी ऐसी होती हैं. किंग अम्बरीश का एग्जाम्पल दिया गया था. हाउ ही इन हिज डेली लाइफ he performed all the activities of devotional service by using his mind, body and words, all his senses. So in this way, when one is purified, he realizes his constitutional position. That is the benefit. The person realizes his constitutional position, the constitutional position of God, and the relationship between soul and the super soul. संबंध, इसकी knowledge जब मिल जाती है, then that person becomes purified gradually. He becomes a pure devotee. But in the preparatory stage, Prabhupada बोलते हैं, the man when he is in full knowledge of Supreme at the same time executing devotional service is also very dear to the Lord. Why? Because वो भक्ति में है, इसलिए he is very dear to the Lord. And he who is situated in pure knowledge of transcendence, of Supreme Personality of God, is so protected in devotional service that material contamination cannot touch him. तो जो material contamination है, इसके कारण we develop a lot of anarthas, weaknesses within our hearts, and we have then unfavorable experiences in our life. And then what happens? Mind overtakes. Mind is not a friend anymore. Like we studied in the Dhyana Yoga chapter 6, for one who has controlled the mind, mind is the best friend, and otherwise mind is the worst enemy. So with the weaknesses of our heart and mind, mind cannot be a friend. And when mind is not a friend, the senses will be out of control. When the senses will be out of control, they are not being engaged in service of the Lord, which means they are entangled in sense gratification and fruitive activities. And what will sense gratification and fruitive activities result to? It will result in grief, lamentation, anger, greed, lust, all kind of anarthas, and these are the road to hell. We don't want to do that. We want to make we want to be able to make best use of this precious human life we are in, which is the gift we have received after many millions of births. It's very rare, and we want to do how we can reach the perfection of this life by engaging in bhakti, which is the path. Bhagwan has been giving this knowledge to Arjun in the middle of battlefield because Arjun is in dilemma. He is trying to go away from his Kshatriya duty, and Bhagwan is saying that just perform your prescribed duties with your consciousness fixed on me, because he is explaining, I am the cause of all causes. You are a soul. I am super soul. We have a relationship. Soul is eternal. Body is temporary. You should not worry about the body. Everybody is on a spiritual journey. You need not worry about people. Just perform your duties like a sacrifice, because then your activities will be Krishna conscious activities. And in such a consciousness, he is telling Arjun that you will be in perfect consciousness. You will elevate out of the modes of material nature. You will not be entangled. Considering this fruitive activity, you will get peace. You will be happy performing your duty. You will not be hankering or lamenting, or you will be not in any more grief. So you see how Bhagwan is giving these instructions to Arjun, but it is for the benefit of humanity. And it is our duty. We should use our intelligence to take these instructions to our heart by understanding the purpose of pure devotee, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada has explained this knowledge in his purports. If we can find ourselves to understand these instructions, this science of self-realization, this science of bhakti properly through these purports, with the help of devotees, we can perfect our lives and we can make our life sublime. We should have some faith, we should have some eagerness, and we should have greed to understand this knowledge. We should have greed to surrender to Krishna. Only then will this science be revealed to us. So, dear friends, actually in this 7th chapter, Bhagavan speaks how one can really become Krishna conscious person. And the beginning of Krishna consciousness is association of devotees who are Krishna conscious. And such association is spiritual and puts one directly in touch with Bhagavan. And with the grace of devotees, with the grace of a guru, with the grace of Bhagavan, we can understand Krishna to be the supreme personality of Godhead. This is the knowledge of Absolute. We already understood a lot of this knowledge in 4th chapter, which is also called the transcendental knowledge. At the same time, we have to understand the constitutional position of ourselves as a soul, and how, we or the living entity, we forget Krishna and we become entangled in material activities. But by gradual spiritual advancement, with how we are reading in different chapters, how we can gradually advance spiritually, we can understand that due to the forgetfulness of Krishna, we become entangled due to the laws of material nature. And that is why we have been talking about modes of material nature. So this human form of a life is a great opportunity. It is a rare opportunity to understand and to live a Krishna conscious life, and it should be fully utilized to attain the causeless mercy of the Lord. So right now we discussed in this chapter, we went through in recitation about a man who is in distress, an inquisitive man, a man who wants material necessities, the 4 categories of people who surrender to Krishna. We talked about knowledge of Brahman, knowledge of Paramatma, and in general, all the talk in Gita is giving us more insight on liberation from the cycle of birth, old age, death, disease, and worship of Supreme Lord. But we should always remember, one who is actually elevated in Krishna consciousness, he does not care for different processes. He simply directly engages in what? If you all have been following me, you know by now what I'm trying to say. Such a person directly engages in bhakti, in serving Krishna and Vaishnavas, in the activities of Krishna consciousness. And then he understands his constitutional position as an eternal servant of Krishna. Jivera swarup hoye Krishnera nitya das. So once we understand that, our acharyas have explained, our spiritual teachers, they have explained that once we understand our position as an eternal servitor of Krishna, and then in that state we take pleasure in hearing and glorifying the Supreme Lord in pure devotional service. Now let's go back to verse number 18. Chapter 7, verse 18. Uttam Das, Yogita Prakash, Manju Thakur, Meghna, Arjun Vadkar, Aruna Vaishnav. Welcome everyone. We are on verse number 18 of chapter 7 of Bhagavad Gita as it is. I am reading Sanskrit with English translations. Udara sarve vate jnani tvatmaiva me matam asthita sahi yuktatma mamevanu gatim. Translation: all these devotees are undoubtedly magnanimous souls, but he who is situated in knowledge of me, I consider to be just like my own self. This is Bhagwan saying to Arjun, being engaged in my transcendental service, he is sure to attain me, the highest and most perfect goal. Look at this verse. In this verse, Bhagwan has told so many things. Bhagwan ne ye bata diya, the highest and the perfect goal is Krishna. Bhagwan earlier said that who is most dear to me? He said, it is not that devotees who are less complete in knowledge are not dear to the Lord. He says that all are magnanimous because anyone who comes to the Lord for purpose, any purpose, is called a Mahatma or great soul. And the devotees who want some benefit out of the bhakti or devotional service, they are accepted by Lord because there is an exchange of affection. Bhagwan ke saath loving and affectionate exchanges hote hain when someone comes to Bhagwan with their prayers in their heart. And out of affection, they ask Lord for some material benefit. And when they get it, they become so satisfied that they also advance in devotional service. So, what we are basically understanding from this verse is, under all circumstances, we should come to Bhagwan with our desires, with our wishes in our heart, with our prayers. And depending on the degree of surrender in our heart, Bhagwan reciprocates. There is a famous verse coming up regarding that, but I am already mentioning it. But the devotee in full knowledge, Prabhupada says, the devotee in full knowledge is considered very dear to the Lord because his only purpose is to serve the Lord. Now this is the main thing why a person in full knowledge of Bhagwan is best and most dear to Bhagwan. Because in full knowledge, a person will try to serve the Lord, to please the Lord, instead of coming with their own material desires to Bhagwan. Such a devotee cannot live a second without contacting or serving the Supreme Lord. Similarly, Supreme Lord is very fond of his devotee and he cannot be separated from him. Text 19. Friends, there are 30 verses. We are on 19th verse and there are 11 more verses to go. Bahunam janman mante, bahunam janmanam ante, jnanvanam prapadyate, vasudeva sarvamiti sa, vasudeva sarvamiti sa mahatma sudurlabha. So Bhagwan यहाँ बोल रहे हैं, after many births and deaths, he who is actually in knowledge surrenders unto me, knowing me to be the cause of all causes, and all that is, such a great soul is very rare. So as all living entities, agar right now, if we are spending some time, giving some time to read through the instructions of Bhagwan, that tells a great deal about our past lives. In our past many lives, we have been on this path of Bhakti Yoga, and for some reason that path got disturbed or discontinued, and in this life again we have picked up from where we left off. And we are carrying on this spiritual path, the path of surrender to Krishna. So Prabhupada बोलते हैं कि the living entity while executing bhakti or performing devotional service to or these transcendental rituals, after many births, may actually become situated in transcendental pure knowledge. That Supreme Personality of Godhead is the ultimate goal of spiritual realization. I'm coming to next verse, verse number 20. कामस्तैस्तैर्हृत ज्ञान प्रपद्यन्ते देवता tam नियमास्थाय प्रकृत्या नियता स्वया. Hare Krishna. Translation: those whose intelligence has been stolen by material desires surrender unto the demigods and follow the particular rules and regulations of worship according to their own nature. So Bhagwan, अभी तक हमको बता चुके हैं, भगवान हैज मेंशन्ड दैट दोज हु आर फ्रीड फ्रॉम मटेरियल कंटामिनेशन सरेंडर इनटू सुप्रीम लॉर्ड and engage in devotional service, bhakti. But as long as material contamination is not washed off, people may worship different demigods, goddesses, depending on their faith. But a pure devotee always worships Krishna. A pure devotee always comes to Krishna with all their desires. So, and therefore, pure devotee never goes to different demigods for satisfaction of his material needs. He depends on Supreme Lord, and the pure devotee is satisfied with whatever Bhagwan gives him. What does Bhagwan give? Bhagwan gives total protection to a totally surrendered souls. And that is the reason a totally surrendered soul is in pure devotional service. Shuddha bhakti to Bhagwan. He takes total Sharanagati of Bhagwan. Text 21. Yo yo yam yam tanu bhakta shraddhaya architum ichchati tasya tasya chalam shraddham tame vidadhamyaham. I am in everyone's heart as super soul. As soon as one desires to worship some demigod, I make his faith steady so that he can devote himself to that particular deity. Bhagwan has given free will and independence to all living entities, okay? And if we want to do material enjoyment, and if we want to have sincerely such facilities from other demigods, then as super soul in our heart, Bhagwan understands everything and he gives facility to such persons. One thing we need to understand that ultimately it's Bhagwan Krishna who sanctions all our desires. We may go through indirect ways, like worshipping different demigods for our desires, because we do not understand that our desires are getting fulfilled ultimately from Krishna. Eventually, Bhagwan is going to explain us that later on. He's going to tell Arjun that is a less intelligent way of worshipping Krishna, to go indirectly through other demigods. So then, now come to verse 22. Sataya shraddhaya yuktas tasyaradhanamihate labhate sa tata kaman mayeva vihitam hitan. Endowed with such a faith, he endeavors to worship a particular demigod and obtains his desires, but in actuality, these benefits are bestowed by me alone. Like I have explained before, that demigods cannot award benedictions to their devotees without the permission of Supreme Lord. Even demigods are getting all their powers from Bhagwan. And then if we approach demigods asking for certain desires, demigods are fulfilling them, but they are getting all their powers from Bhagwan. So let us be more intelligent and approach Bhagwan Krishna directly. Bhagwan Krishna can give us everything. And the best part is, what is the best part of approaching Krishna directly? If we approach Krishna with any desires, we already are engaging in bhakti. And when we start engaging in bhakti, we are saved from the gravest danger of material existence, from the cycle of birth, old age, death, disease. Our destination is assured that in future lives, we will not be lost. We will be on the spiritual journey to surrender to Krishna. This is the best investment. Text 23. Antavattu phalam tesham tadbhavati alpamedhasam devan deva yajo yanti madbhakta yanti mam api. Translation: Men of small intelligence worship the demigods and their fruits are limited and temporary. Those who worship the demigods go to the planets of demigods, but my devotees ultimately reach my supreme planet. तो भगवान ने बता दिया, जो प्योर भक्त होते हैं उनका डेस्टिनेशन क्या होता है? भगवान का प्लैनेट, भगवान के पास जाते हैं, वो लॉस्ट नहीं होते हैं. 8.3 मिलियन स्पीशीज में उनको बॉर्न नहीं होना पड़ता है. They transcend out of the entanglement of material existence, and they go back to भगवान. ये सब केवल भगवान की मर्जी से होता है. One who engages in service, in pure devotional service, उसको भगवान की मर्जी मिल जाती है. Therefore, the mercy of Supreme Lord upon his pure devotee is unlimited. And the pure devotee engaged in Krishna consciousness, in devotional service to Supreme Lord, achieves eternal blissful existence that is full of knowledge. His achievements and those of common worshipper of demigods are different. So जो demigod worship करते हैं और जो भगवान की कृष्ण की worship करते हैं, उनकी achievements different होती हैं, उनके destination different होते हैं, उनके faith different होते हैं, उनका lifestyle different होता है और उनका faith भी different होता है. Text 24. अव्यक्तं व्यक्तिमापन्नं मन्यन्ते माम बुद्धया परं भावम् अज्ञानन्तो mamavyayamannuttamam. Translation: Intelligent men who do not know me perfectly think that I, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, was impersonal before and have now assumed this personality. Due to their small intelligence, due to their small knowledge, they do not know my higher nature, which is imperishable and supreme. So भगवान ने फर्दर यहाँ इलेबोरेट किया कि जो डेमिगॉड वर्शिप को रहते हैं वो भगवान को समझ नहीं पाते. Those people cannot understand Krishna who take to other faiths or worship of demigods. Text 25. नाहं प्रकाश सर्वस्य योगा माया समावृत मूढ़ोऽयं नाभिजानाति लोको मां जम्ययम्. Translation: I am never manifest to foolish and intelligent. For them, I am covered by my internal potency, and therefore they do not know that I am unborn and infallible. So Bhagavan has earlier established he is the cause of all causes, that he is the Supreme Absolute, and Bhagavan is saying that he is unborn and infallible. Achyut. Achyutam Keshavam. Achyutam Keshavam Ram Narayanam Ram Narayanam Janaki Vallabham. So let's go to verse number 26. And friends, we have 4 more verses to go. Right now we understand Bhagwan has an eternal form which is bliss and knowledge, and his energies are inexhaustible. And Bhagwan is not only unborn, but he is also infallible. Text 26. Vedaham samtitani Vedaham samatitani Vartamanani charjuna Bhavishyani cha bhutani Mam tu vedana kaschana. Translation: O Arjun, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, I know everything that has happened in the past and all that is happening in present and all things that are yet to come. I also know all living entities, but me no one knows. And this is one of the reasons that definitely we should aspire, or we should put in our best endeavor to know about Bhagwan Krishna. And how can we know about Krishna? It all begins by chanting of the holy names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Friends, there are so many speakers constantly talking about problems in the Kali Age times, current times. We have short lives, we have less intelligence, people are short-lived, right? And they are quarrelsome, and they do not have that much intelligence. But there is one great thing in this ocean of faults, which is anyone can take to the chanting of the holy names and associate with Krishna, And by doing that, we can understand Krishna, we can get protection and mercy of Krishna, we can make our life sublime in the easiest possible manner. So जब यहाँ पे बोलते हैं कि I know all living entities and no one knows me, it's a direct indication that we can get started on this spiritual journey to know Krishna by the best means, by the recommended means which is available. Because most of us are entangled in Maya, in the modes of nature, and to come to that platform of perfect realization, we can understand Bhagwan by being in Krishna consciousness, and chanting is one of the recommended ways to perform one of the 9 ways of devotional service or bhakti. Text 27. Ichha dvesha samuthena dvandva mohena bharata sarva bhutani samoham sarge yanti parantapa. Translation. O scion of Bharat, O conqueror of foe, all living entities are born into delusion, bewildered by dualities arising for desire and hate. And Bhagwan is telling Arjun here that real constitutional position of living entity is of subordination to the Supreme Lord, who is pure knowledge. And when one is deluded into separation from this pure knowledge, he has become controlled by Maya, illusory energy, and he cannot understand Bhagwan. So the illusory energy is manifested out of our day-to-day experiences, जिसको dualities बोलते हैं, what we observe: love, hate, happiness, distress, heat, cold, fame, infamy, liking, disliking, right? So we want to come out of this ignorance, and we want to serve Krishna in pure knowledge, in full knowledge, with love, with devotion, with absorption, with affection. And so the pure devotees who are not deluded, or contaminated by such feelings of desire or hate, they can understand Sri Krishna because he appears by his internal potencies. But those who are deluded by duality and ignorance and think that Bhagwan is created by material energies. And Prabhupada says this is their misfortune. So let us not be in this misfortune state anymore. Let's make use of this knowledge, these purports. Let's try to understand them and have a better understanding about dualities of delusion. And those who are deluded by dualities, Srila Prabhupada explains that those who are deluded by such dualities are foolish people, and therefore they cannot understand Supreme Lord. Text 28, we have 3 more verses to go. Yesham tvantagatam papam jananam punya karmanam te dvandva moha nirmukta bhajante mam dृढ़ व्रत. Dear friends, इस वर्ष में बहुत important term use की गई है, दृढ़ व्रत. There is an important terminology used in this verse, dृढ़ व्रत. And let's read the translation now. Persons who have acted piously in previous lives and in this life, whose sinful actions are completely eradicated, are freed from dualities of delusion, they engage themselves in my service with determination. Dृढ़ व्रत matlab strong determination. So when you read the purpose, you will understand that Bhagwan is saying that this elevation in Krishna consciousness is possible in association of pure devotees, because in the association of pure devotees, we can come out of the illusions or delusions, and we can develop the divine qualities, and determination, strong determination is one of them. So unless one is reinstated in his own constitutional position in loving service to Lord, it is not possible to understand Bhagwan or to be fully engaged in his loving devotional service. Text 29. जड़ामरान् मोक्षाय मामाश्रित्य यतन्ति ते ब्रह्म तद्विदु कृष्णम् अध्यात्मं कर्म चाखिलम् Adhyatmam karma chakhilam. Translation: intelligent persons who are endeavoring for liberation from old age and death take refuge in me in devotional service. They are actually Brahman because they entirely know everything about transcendental activities. So Bhagwan said, who is most dear to him? Who tries to develop full knowledge of him, right? And Bhagwan is saying now that such people are very intelligent because they want liberation from old age and death. Because old age death जो है, it's related to body. And how does one get liberated? When he understands his constitutional position is that of his soul in loving service to God. And when such soul or living entity surrenders to Bhagwan, Bhagwan says he engages in transcendental activities. And this is the knowledge of Absolute. This is the transcendental knowledge. Again and again भगवान अर्जुन को ये instructions and messages दे रहे हैं भगवद गीता में, but it is we living entities who are tremendously getting benefited out of this knowledge, out of this science of self-realization. Because if we are truly having intelligence to understand that what are the real dangers, right, which are birth, death, old age, disease, and how they affect material body and not the spiritual body, then we can do something about it. Because there is no birth, old age, death, disease for the spiritual body. So one who attains the spiritual body becomes one of the spiritual associates of Bhagwan. And he engages in eternal devotional service once he is liberated. So we earlier studied, Bhagwan told Arjun that 4 kinds of impure devotees engage themselves in transcendental loving service of Lord to achieve the respective goals. And by mercy or grace of the Lord, when they are fully Krishna conscious, they actually enjoy spiritual association with Bhagwan. But those who are worshippers of demigods, indirect ways से भगवान के पास आते हैं, they never reach the Supreme Lord in his supreme planet. So we should not take to the indirect ways, okay? And those who are engaged in worshipping the Lord, Bhagwan, Krishna, who are engaged in meditation of the Lord simply for liberation from material bondage, then by the grace of the Lord, they get the mercy of the Lord, okay? So now we are coming to the last verse, verse 30. Sadi bhutadi daivam mam sadi agnam chaye vidu prayan kale api cha mam te vidur yukta chetasa. Those in full consciousness of me, who know me, the Supreme Lord, to be the governing principle of material manifestation, of the demigods, and of all methods of sacrifice, can understand and know me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, even at the time of death. So Bhagwan ने इस chapter में knowledge of the absolute, knowledge of भगवान दी है, which is also the transcendental knowledge, और बोला है कि वो समझ सकते हैं भगवान को, who are in full consciousness of Bhagwan, knowing him to be the governing principle of all demigods, that we should take to direct worship of Bhagwan instead of going through indirect ways. And of all methods of sacrifice, only those can understand and know him, know me, even at the time of death. So we should learn from this that persons acting in bhakti or Krishna consciousness are never deviated from the path of entirely understanding Supreme Personality of Godhead, and that one can understand how Bhagwan is governing principle of all material manifestation, including the demigods. And gradually by such transcendental association, we can become convinced that Supreme Personality of Godhead is the ultimate cause of all causes. He is the Supreme, He is our eternal well-wisher, the Supreme Friend, and we become convinced of Supreme Personality of Godhead, so that at the time of death, a Krishna conscious person never forgets Krishna, and naturally he is thus promoted to the Supreme Lord Goloka Vrindavan. So in this chapter, one thing is very clear. There is tons of information. We can learn how we can become a fully Krishna conscious person. Okay, so please take your time, go through the purports and try to absorb the nectar, the knowledge in this chapter. In this whole process, there is a term called Dridvrata which is mentioned here, and it is said, Prabhupada explain करते हैं, when we are a living entity is in such beautiful perfect Krishna consciousness, in such a situation he takes pleasure in hearing and glorifying about Bhagwan in pure devotional service. आपने देखा होगा, devotees, they just love to talk about the Lord. They wish they had many mouths and many ears. And so he is convinced that by doing so, all his objectives will be fulfilled. This determined faith is called Drid Vrat, and it is the beginning of Bhakti Yoga or transcendental loving service. This is the verdict of all scriptures, all the Shastra. Is the substance, is the ultimate conclusion of this chapter. This is how this 7th chapter ends, my dear friends. We will start chapter 8 tomorrow. And I must mention to you all that in this chapter, the beautiful subjects of surrender have been discussed, and also why demigod worshipping is less intelligent way, and that we as conditioned souls will stay in the state of bewilderment unless we follow in footsteps of Arjun and take to the path of Krishna consciousness. So I hope all this recitation and discussion is benefiting everyone. And while we plan for the next chapter, chapter 8 of Bhagavad Gita, let us not forget to always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. And the simplest way we can do that 24/7 is by chanting a simple mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. I really appreciate you all, those of you who joined even till few minutes back. Even if you listen to little bit about Bhagwan, it is guaranteed that you are on this spiritual journey to Krishna, and that Bhagwan within your heart has inspired you to join this talk. Deepti Kapoor, Rajkumar, Sonu Raju, Palak Soni, Elizabeth, Hare Krishna, very nice. I'm happy to see you all here. Please join me tomorrow for chapter 8. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Bhagavad Pad ki jai, Anant Koti Vaishnav Vrind ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna.